Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. Back in the studio, Quasey.
This is true.
Back.
You are back in
Yes.
the studio.
Yes.
Yes.
Quasey's nearby.
I'm very
And,
nearby.
Yeah.
I just, I'm going through some stuff, ladies and gentlemen. It's really unfortunate. I would love to be in the studio today, but it's really unfortunate. I'm not able to make it to the studio today. However, I'm in a different room than you guys saw last time. If you guys remember, I was in like a room with all these cool LED lights and a poster of me and everything. And all of that's just gone. The only poster I have right now is that one of K-pop Demon Hunters, and then that Spider-Man poster over there. It's
Okay.
It's truly a terrible day to be. Oh, I guess my piano's still right here. I tried to play it, and it occurred to me that it's not plugged in right now. So that's embarrassing. But I promise you, the piano is still here. Yeah, I mean, so. I have a question for the people in the comments. Let me just know if you guys have heard of that new I don't want to say new, but there's like a parasite that's around in people's lettuce, right? And it's supposedly giving out explosive diarrhea, right? And I may or may not have had lettuce quite recently, and I may or may not be experiencing some symptoms. Also, one last thing that's completely unrelated. Last night I had 7 onions, right? I just had 7 onions lying around, right? Now I've had these onions for like 2 weeks.
Why would
So
you do
I
that?
just don't want these onions. I just don't want these onions to go bad, right? And so I asked ChatGPT, right? Because I just started paying for ChatGPT Plus. So now I have Gemini and ChatGPT, right? But I asked ChatGPT, I said, Chat, I have 7 onions and 3 heads of garlic and some ginger. What should I do? Right. So last night for dinner, I had French onion soup, and I had what we have, garlic knots, and the ginger is just still there. But I realized I don't like I already knew I didn't like the taste of onions, so I don't like French onion soup. Right. I'm not a fan. Now,
if you don't like onions, Quasey, there's no way that soupifying what you don't like makes it better. In my experience,
it didn't.
I don't like boots.
It
I'm not
arguably
making
made it
soup out of
worse.
them.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just,
I understand that, but
sorry, go ahead. I
yeah.
cut you off.
No, I mean, I just like I personally hate French onion soup. Now, my roommate also ate it with me, right? And he was like, "Oh, this is the best French onion soup I've ever had in my life." Really? So if this is what French onion soup tastes like, I'm never going to France. Like
Well, you can't just not.
I think I
eat that
hated
soup.
European cuisine beforehand, with the exception of all the Italian food. And now I'm never trying anything new.
Okay, so if you've never had English, so from England, chocolate blows
Like Cadbury?
out the water. American chocolate of any sort. You think you've had chocolate before? No, not in the slightest. For those listening from Europe or in that region of the world, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've ever had American chocolate, it's okay. Some are worse than others. But English chocolate's a whole, like, the first thing that I did not notice about English chocolate is the size of it. It's like our, $60 massive size of a Hershey bar or something like that. And they have some a little bit smaller, but you can hide a Bible behind it. It's that big.
Yeah.
Okay. The second thing is their level of detail to the textures and the flavors is unmatched. It's so good. I've had before. We had a student worker bring some in from I can't remember where. It's like somewhere in France too, which is also really good. I just realized that we're missing out. I mean, you think America would be the country to have really good chocolate.
No, I would definitely think it'd be an African country. For example, did you know that Ghana is the world's second largest producer of chocolate? And now I'm this might sound biased because if you guys know, my parents are both from Ghana, but every time I go there, right, you have to get the chocolate, right? Now this isn't like some milk chocolate, right? Because I'll be honest with you, every time I go there, I don't see fresh milk, so I don't know if they have. Oh wow, let me not cut that part, right? Editor Quasey, cut that part. I can't say that, but I don't know if
Why? I
there's
mean,
I don't know
you
if
just
there's
haven't seen
milk
it.
there. Well, I've seen cows, so I don't know, but it's not like milk chocolate. I think the brand's name is like Kingsman or something. I have no clue, but it's some
Oh,
of
I've
the
heard of that.
best chocolate I've ever had in my entire life. Right, so I
Have you
just
had
think you have
English
to go to
chocolate
like
though?
I have had like Cadbury, not like
No, no,
English,
no, no, no,
not
no.
like American Cadbury, like Cadbury.
Okay, well that's one variant of it. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Yeah,
but you know
that
me,
is.
I'm not the biggest fan of British people. Wow, that sounds racist. I just sound like I'm a racist today. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm going through something in my life. I have one more thing to say, Adam. This is terrible news. Prepare yourself. Like, just your heart's gonna hurt. I was playing basketball, I think yesterday, right? And it didn't
Physically?
occur to me, yeah, physically,
Okay.
and it didn't occur to me that I was so terrible at basketball all of a sudden, right? Because me and my best friend are playing, right? And we're out there for an hour, right? And combined between the two of us, we've only scored 16 points. This is a terrible day for us, right? Because we're only going against each other. And for a good portion of the time, we weren't even going 100%, right? So me and him are just absolutely garbage all of a sudden, right? And I mean, like, you know what? It's the watch, right? So I take off my Apple Watch and I toss it to the grass. But then in slow motion, you can see the watch isn't going to make it to the grass, right? You just see the watch smack right
Mm,
onto
mm,
right onto the concrete. And
mm.
you know, the Apple Watch screens are made out of sapphire, which is rated a 9 on the most scale of hardness. So I was holding out a tiny itty bitty piece of hope, right? I picked up my watch and I kid you not, I've never seen an Apple
Mm.
Watch look like this before. I didn't even know that they could break.
Do you have it with you?
I do have it with me. I can
If you guys did not know, Quasey's having a rough week.
extremely rough.
Oh,
It's just absolutely
that
shattered.
hurts
Won't
my
even turn on.
ankles hearing this, Quasey.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
terrible
gosh.
news. So
Did
I
you
will
show
be.
it?
Yeah, I mean, I
I
thought you
guess that
saw.
was just still this. Oh,
Yeah, doesn't even turn on anymore. So it's really
you can
unfortunate.
salvage the band maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah,
What's it's a good thing that the watch face broke the band's fall.
yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry, Quasey.
I think I was telling you I was gonna buy a new one in November anyway, but
This
like
is just that,
I
you
was
know.
really holding out on this one.
Well,
So
it
when the
was really
Series
time to
12 comes
upgrade.
out, that's what I'll be getting. Because I can't have the same watch as my dad. I already have the same phone as my dad, and I refuse to keep copying
Well,
him.
you won't get the same
Right?
watch as your
Me
dad.
and
Get
my
the
dad have the
Ultra.
same AirPods. Like it's getting to a point. You know what I mean?
Just get the Ultra. That would
I
not
just
happen
don't
with an
need an
Ultra, I don't
$800
believe.
watch. I just don't need an $800 watch.
I think you do.
I just don't need an $800 watch. Okay, I think that's the end of my stories for today.
Okay.
Did you see the? I'm so sorry. This is. I'm gonna go to our stories right after this. Did you see that yesterday? Apple released Apple Upgrade, which is like the new leasing
I
thing for them.
did.
That's not in our list of stories to talk about, but I thought that was pretty major, and we should probably talk about it.
I think we should. Um, there's one project. I want to make sure this is absolutely accurate before I say it, because if it is, I would lose my mind. I think it's
Yeah,
funny.
it works for app or for iPhones, iPads, Mac, and Apple Watches. So
There's no. Okay. I saw a post. I'm pretty sure it was AI. Definitely was AI. That they have the polishing cloth, a part of that upgrade program.
No, they don't. That
It's like 23 cents, a day or whatever it was or something. So, just imagine, Quasey, before we get too far off topic, that somebody has to update the polishing cloths,
yeah, that would really
compatibility list. So it's got to
somebody
be
gets
an
paid to do
interesting
that.
job.
Like,
They do. I just think it's pretty funny.
yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah,
they're so lucky. I wish I got paid
you
to do nothing all day.
you should you should dive into more about this upgrade program. I don't even put it in the list.
Yeah, I mean,
Because here's why. I really want to see more of what they're going to do with it before we talked about it. That's why it was omitted, not because I don't think it's worth talking about. Let's be clear about that.
okay,
It's really
so
awesome.
I think the number one thing that everybody should know is that it's not just through Apple; it's through Klarna, right? Which is that buy now, pay later service, and it allows you to have flexible monthly payment options. So like for example, for an iPhone, you could pay $17.99 a month for 24 months for your iPhone. Now, I just don't know about leasing a phone, but I guess if you always want to have the latest iPhone, this is a good solution because the second you get approved with Klarna, first and foremost, I think it's very important to know, to say that Klarna does a soft crediting, a soft credit inquiry, right? And it doesn't affect your score. It doesn't affect it when you apply, and it doesn't affect it when you get approved, right? So, as long as you have decent credit, I don't think that you'll have an issue getting this. And then at the end of the lease, you can either buy it out, like how you can buy out a car at the end of a lease, or you can return it and exit the program, right? Or you can get the new one if I didn't mention that. So I think it's a great way for people like Adam to always keep the newest phone in their pocket. Adam upgrades his phone literally every year. Um, will I be upgrading to the 18? I really like the 18's design, except I really hate the way it's designed, if that makes sense. I really like the colors. I hate the design. Like I was telling him with the design, the two-tone design of the the iPhone 17. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the Apple upgrade program for you.
I have
This is probably the
one
best way to buy a
major
Mac.
issue with it.
What?
Major. And this is something they should just absolutely forbid moving forward.
What's that?
For the iPhone, I believe the Apple Watch, because if you have to use cellular with it, you cannot, for some reason, do this program without choosing one of the major carriers.
Really?
Dumb. So you can't, do this without T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon. Well, that's really stupid. So I don't like that whatsoever because, I have Visible, okay? And some people might want to just have a no carrier lock with it. Now, here's something I also want to mention with it before I get to the good. The other terrible, treacherous thing that each of these carriers have as a function and will definitely absolutely use is if you miss a payment with one of these plans, they can deactivate your phone from being used until you make a payment. Yes. So you can
Cool
just go
thing.
about your day. Maybe you thought you had some money in your account. And, this happens sometimes too with people. And this sucks a whole bunch. So let's just say on the same day of your payday, right? This
Yeah.
happens to come out. I'm not sure about how it works for most people, but my paycheck when it comes in about 1:00 that day. It's not, I say 1 p.m., not 1 a.m. So it comes in for some reason egregiously late. Like it has a lunch period in this time frame. And then I get it. But what if that payment is due that day? Well, you're getting paid that day, right? But this is going to come out at like 12:02 a.m., right? So maybe you're not financially bad. It's just the absolute time that this comes out and charges you. So what if this happens to you, right? Or what if you just don't have the money because of whatever reasons, right? Now your phone's deactivated until this payment is made. That is a pretty bad thing. It's like you're paying the bank for your house, right? Your mortgage, and you miss the payment by 2 hours, and they're coming with the police saying you're being evicted that same day. It's the same kind of concept. You're immediately not able to use it. What are your thoughts about that, Quasi?
Where did you get that information from?
Several people on Twitter were showing like the direct link in the article about this.
Yeah, so
I didn't post it, but let me find it.
I did some quick research, some really quick research, and according to MacRumors.com, although there's code in the iOS 27 beta that suggests Apple could restrict apps and services if there are missed payments, that's not for Apple upgrade. Missing a payment won't change how your iPhone works. However, if you miss a payment, it'll be rolled into your next month's payment, and there are no late fees. However, if you miss 3 payments in a row, Klarna will automatically terminate your lease, and the full balance of the iPhone will be due immediately. Also, subtract the value of the iPhone from the amount you owed when you return it, cutting down on the payoff amount. And if you don't return the iPhone or pay the balance, Klarna will send the account to collections, which is what I thought it was going to do. Because breaking the phone doesn't help anybody.
Well, okay, I should clarify this. It's in the code that it's a feature that can be done.
Yeah, but there's no evidence that they're going to use that for that. But again, why would you put it in your code? Why would you put it in your code if you're not going to use it? So
yeah.
But I think this is a nice little option from Apple because things are expensive these days. And while I wouldn't recommend leasing anything but I wouldn't even recommend leasing a car, to be honest with you. If you have the money, just buy the car,
Well,
and if you don't, you can finance it with the bank.
But there's times for a lease and times not to do a lease. It really depends on what you're trying to do right then, what funds you have available, and what you're going to do. Because if you're not like, there's people I know that like a phone every year. They want to get a new car every year. Why? They want the car to be the most reliable for that year or two that you have it, right? And then you just get the new one right after that. You don't have to worry about too much depreciation, low miles, everything else. There's good reasons for this. But if you're just trying to like buy a car to have it for years and years and years, and don't care about getting a new one every year, then it makes sense to do that. So it just kind of depends on the person. Leasing is not always the best option, but not buying is not the best option too. So it just kind of depends what you want to do. So don't rule it out completely. Maybe Quasi's not ready to lease. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I've grown up in a family where I've never seen my parents lease a car.
Me either.
My dad has paid off, I think we're on his 6th car now, with the Honda Accord that he got last year. And my mom, I've just never seen her lease a car. But then again, I've only seen my mom get 3 cars. She had a 1996 Mazda that she used all the way up to 2011 when she got her second car, and it was a 2011 Town and Country, right? And my mom used the heck out of that car, and then she gave it to me, and it was really unfortunate because the second I got it, if you remember, I was driving it up here, and it didn't make it off the New Jersey Turnpike. It was terrible news. Mind you, that car had 0 issues beforehand.
You should be very thankful that issue happened that early.
Yeah, I mean,
what if that would have happened
in Ohio?
Halfway,
I don't know what I would have done.
On some worse turnpike at 10 o'clock at night, Yeah,
I mean, I just don't know what I would have done. That would have been a terrible moment.
Yeah. So although it's a bad thing, it could have been way worse.
Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, this is true.
And then add on what's happening to you right now to that situation.
I mean, I can't imagine that being a good day, right? I might just break down and start crying. That might
be one of the only times the I untie my left shoe just for the hell of it,
Mm,
just
yeah,
because, there's no reason for it whatsoever. It doesn't help anything. But, there's just times the left shoe needs to be untied, and that's one of them. So, yeah.
it's true.
But, back to the iPhone upgrade program, when I first heard about it and they're going to use Klarna, I'm like, this is a great thing they're doing. But they're really not doing anything besides one thing. They're bringing back the iPhone upgrade program, and they're choosing Klarna as the place that's going to finance it. They changed nothing else with it, to be honest with you. And it's not as good as it should be. I think they need to stop, force you to choose one of those three carriers, because there are more carriers than just those. That's the first thing to be no, and they need to have an option so you can just buy it out. You don't have to have a carrier lock.
No,
That's stupid.
so all the phones come unlocked, but you just have to choose a carrier at checkout. That's the only thing.
That's essentially locking the phone, though, right?
No. Like,
It is.
so usually when you buy a phone off Apple, you have to sign up for the plan and everything, and then you're locked to that carrier. And you can add like a second SIM, but it's like you're
That's
still locked to
true.
that carrier. But this time, you're not locked in with a specific carrier. You just have to choose one at checkout for some reason.
But you are, though. Here's why I say that. Yes, you can have an eSIM choice to go somewhere else. That's not what I'm saying, carrier lock. What I'm saying is, now with this specific carrier, you're locked in with that agreement, even though it's through Klarna, right? That you're still locked in, like with Verizon or T-Mobile or AT&T, meaning during your duration of this loan that you're choosing, even though it's going through Klarna, you're with Verizon in this case, right? Until that is paid off. So, to my understanding, let's say I just chose Verizon, right? And I said, Verizon is a whole bunch
I
of
don't know why
sucks
you
now.
wouldn't choose Verizon.
I want to go to T-Mobile, right? I don't think until you pay off that device with Klarna, you can even switch.
I definitely
Even
think
though
you
it's not
can.
with Verizon financing, right? Or Apple financing, so it's Klarna, I don't think you can choose anything else until that is paid off with this specific carrier, because you're choosing that carrier at checkout, which means that device is going to be pre-registered with that carrier under IMEI number, which then locks it. So you're right. It's unlocked initially, right? All iPhones are. And then when you choose it, it's pre-registering that device with that carrier. That's what I don't like. That's got to stop. They brought eSIM to iPhones, Quasi, so you don't have to stay with one carrier, right? Or you can have multiple for different reasons.
I don't know if it's not such you have to stay with one character, but
Well,
yeah.
you do. Until that device is paid off, you're stuck with that carrier. That's how that works. And I know that because I have my uncle right now is trying to switch to Visible, right? He has Verizon. Right. And because his nephew that's on his phone too, his phone's not paid off with Verizon, he can't switch. Now, he could do an eSIM secondary. He can't do eSIM. His phone doesn't have eSIM. If he had a phone that had eSIM, he can get a secondary line, right, with Visible and be fine. That's not the issue. But people don't want to do that. They want to bring their phone number over, right? So when you do that, you can't do that until your phone's paid off. So the carrier will not unlock your EPP code until you do this payoff. So that's how it locks you in. All of which I think is bogus. It shouldn't happen like that. No carrier should be financing a phone and lock you in until it's paid off. That's not how it should work. It should be, okay, and with Klarna, that's the place that's financing this phone. I had to pay off with them, okay? So you pay off with them. During that time, it should not matter if I go with T-Mobile, AT&T, Visible, Boost Mobile, whoever, right? That should make no difference because I'm still paying the phone off with them. That's how it should be. But it's just not how it is. So it looks great until you get down to choose a carrier. There should be an option to choose different carriers first off, besides this, and secondly, unlocked. Is it just impossible for me to have an unlocked payment plan? It's what it is right now, sadly. So that's what I don't like about it. I think that needs to change, like actually even right now, be great. So it's kind of stupid. I don't like that part at all. But
Right.
other than that, though, the monthly fee is really nice, right? It's actually cheaper than it would be most other carriers and stuff like that. I like that a lot. I think it does include Apple Care. It does not include Apple Care. So that's another thing, too.
Yeah, I mean, you can always
Before it
add
used to
Apple
include
Care,
Apple Care.
but
Now it just doesn't. Oh, no, it does. It does. No, it does
you
not.
can add
Sorry.
Apple Care, but it's going to be a separate charge.
So,
It's
like,
not going to
they've
go through
made the
Klarna.
original upgrade program worse, unfortunately. So,
I
I don't think it's worth it.
No, I just don't think it's like, so the original upgrade program, you would like pay a fee for like every year. It'd be a yearly fee, and then you would just upgrade your phone and then pay off like a certain amount of money, and then they would let you upgrade. But I think that what they changed about it is I don't know if they had Apple Care on that because I didn't use
They
that
did.
obviously. But this is a lot cheaper than that, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Doesn't have Apple Care. That's the first thing.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
mean,
options for 12
do you
months.
plan on destroying your phone?
What if someone like plays basketball and tosses the phone into the grass,
Okay,
but misses the grass
all
and hits
right,
the
pal.
concrete?
Okay.
I'm just saying,
Just bringing up a really
I have
traumatic
faith in
event for me.
myself, not damage my phone. But what if something happens where it's an accident, or I'm on someone's boat and they want to go fast in the
Yeah,
waves, and
I
my
mean,
phone flips
Apple
off and
Care
hits
One is
another?
only $19 a month. I'm saying only.
I
You know, this is
have
the only device I don't have covered under my Apple Care One.
the Apple Care Plus with theft and loss prevention. Crazy, like. What's so important to me is this. My phone is used for my business, my work, my podcast stuff. I use my phone for a lot of stuff. It's a pretty important device. It's also a device that if I need medical emergency services, I can get it there too, right? So I treat this thing with the most care I possibly can. And if there is an incident, right, which I have not had to use yet, thankfully, they just take care of every part of it. Someone steals it, okay? That's taken care of. It doesn't matter. Let's say I accidentally drop it and, it's glass that's, with the screen protector and stuff. It doesn't matter. I just don't want to be a situation where, I think I'm fine and something happens to it, right? What if I just fall down because the sidewalks are uneven, right? And phone first into the
Yeah,
concrete? Like,
yeah, I could see
I
that
know
being
I'm probably being a
terrible.
little bit paranoid, right? But I'm just saying, it's not always your fault that things like that happen, What if you walking behind someone that has, they're a construction worker and they're walking and they stop and you go phone first into the back of their hammer?
One first is the
Like,
back of their hammer.
yeah, the claw part right into your screen.
That'd be really unfortunate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there is things like that can happen. It sounds wild. I get it, but like, I don't want that to be a problem. And I think $12 a month or $120 a year to me is worth that price. It's just me. I'm not trying to sell you on the program. Because my phone to me is really important for almost everything I do in my life, it's super worth it in my head. Now, do you have to get this? Not even the slightest. But like, I just like that you can just do that, right? And Apple, even without that, has been more than amazing with me. Like, shout out to the Apple support team. So Tim Cook, if you're listening, you're probably not, but if you are, or John Turnus, keep up that great work. I have had I gotta say, of every company on earth that I've dealt with customer service, Apple, hands down, is the best company in history that I've ever worked with, ever. I'm on some list. They won't admit that. But when I write my name, it's a whole different conversation. And they just take care of me, and I appreciate that. And this is another reason why I won't choose anybody else. I went on a long rant about this. All I'm trying to say is the iPhone upgrade program is great for certain people if you have those cares and you have no problem with that. But if you don't, you want to unlocked, it's a little bit different story. So just be aware of that. Let us know in the comments what you think.
Yeah.
Overall.
This is
Do you
a
like
big
it? Do you
thing,
not like
so
it? And why?
yeah.
Are you
Hey,
going to get your
unrelated.
Apple Care Plus, Quasi? for your phone, or just
Get
not?
Apple Care Plus? No, I have Apple Care One, so I can cover 3 devices, and I cover my Mac, my iPad, and my phone. So,
I really
um,
wish that would have one change.
what
The
you could share with
devices that
family?
you can just change it, which devices they are. It's only your devices. So it's nice if you have the devices you want to protect, but like, what if I want to choose my phone, my wife's phone, and like her iPad or something? You can't do that.
Yeah, I think that's really unfortunate that you can't family
That's
share
about
that
it though,
plan.
and that's great.
Yeah. Hey, we're half an hour into this video, and we haven't yet mentioned the actual topics for today, and I take full responsibility for that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pivot us into our actual topics. Did you know that Apple is going to be releasing their first water-resistant iPad later this year?
Heard about.
Guess which one it's going to be?
Is it just maybe Quasey's favorite product at
It's
Apple?
definitely my favorite one. It's the iPad
Oh,
Mini. I will be buying this so I can shower with an iPad Mini. That's like I've never showered with my iPad Mini simply because I didn't realize that my iPad Mini wasn't water resistant. But it's
oh,
just never it's never
yeah.
hit me that a bath with an iPad Mini would be so fun. Well,
Just
I
know,
just said fun
Quasey,
really weird.
all iPads are not water resistant currently until this one comes out.
Yeah, I mean,
Never wanted to
I
bring
had
my
no clue.
iPad in the shower and like that, but like, you know what? What if you just want to, listen to a podcast in the shower, or, you want to catch the highlights of last night's,
Game,
in the
yeah,
NFL game, or, maybe you're in the draft season and you're ready to go and you still got to get ready, but you want to hear the last minute draft news and stuff like that, right? You can do that. Or you just want to watch some YouTube and, whatever. I think it's
yeah.
kind of
I
cool. I'm
mean,
not saying like you're going to be holding it while you're showering, but like you can put like on a stand of some sort, right? Or just, such cup into the wall and just watch it. Like that'd be kind of cool. That'd be
this
really
is true.
cool.
In
And then it
addition
gets a
to
bath
that,
too.
yeah, it does get a bath too. It doesn't have to be dirty like all the rest of your devices. Wash your
Yeah.
phone screens, ladies and gentlemen. Don't wash your phone screens. Like get
Not just the
like
phone
Clorox
screen, the
wipe,
rest of it too.
right? Get a Clorox wipe it down once in a while. Um, Especially if oh my God, I was at the train station the other day at Millennium Station, and I dropped my phone on that dirty behind floor, and I was holding it like this for the rest of the night. I didn't even use it. I just held it like this.
See,
I
what I
was
do is I take my phone out of my
disgusted.
case, I wash it with soap and water, dry it, everything, just once a
Something
week
that you
at
can actually
least.
do because your phone's
Yeah.
water resistant. Hey, in
There's only
addition to
one issue
that,
with it.
go ahead.
Like, even though I do that and I blow out the actual like port for the USB-C, if you have any quickness that you want to just plug it in with USB-C, you're looking at a couple hours before you can actually use that, because the water resistant like
Thing's gonna be
emergency
like, oh,
override kind of
there's
thing.
water in your thing. Oh, there's water in your
Yeah.
thing.
And you
Yeah,
know what
it's
they
not a
do?
fan.
They get you because you plug it in and it's not instant. Takes a second or two. So you think you're fine. It starts charging, then it stops charging. You're like, ah. But yeah, MagSafe for that.
This is true.
Crazy. This just occurred to me the other day. We both know that the Fold is coming out from Apple this year lacks MagSafe, right?
Yeah. So did
Does
the
that
17E.
does
Or
that
not the 17, the 16E, sorry. Go
tell
ahead.
you that Apple is considering no longer doing MagSafe?
No, I just think it's hard to implement on a phone like that.
Yeah, but
Like,
now
I
we have
definitely think.
2 new iPhones that will not have it.
No, which is the other phone that won't have it?
Talking about coming up. He says 17E.
Yeah, no, I was wrong. The 17E definitely does have. I was saying the 16E didn't have MagSafe.
There's
Yeah,
been rumblings from people I talked to that they have a high suspicion, with no evidence, of course, that Apple's going away from MagSafe. And they
yeah.
better
I think
not.
that's really unlikely because MagSafe is insanely popular, and they make a lot of money
Really
off of
not.
MagSafe accessories, right?
Okay,
Not just off chargers.
let's go on another rant. Why are there so little devices that are accessories they're MagSafe certified. You probably can't name 5 off the top of your head right now.
I definitely can't.
There's one that I know of, and only one. Only one. It's a Belkin 3-in-1 charger, which is super unreliable. If you don't know, don't buy it. I've had 3 of them, and 2 of them failed to work, and there was a whole thing with that. But, like, yes, there are devices that work with MagSafe, right? So don't think that there's not, like, MagSafe accessories. I'm saying, like, the made-for MagSafe certification, where it gets the full 25 watts, the whole works, right? Did you know that devices that Apple has that are MagSafe certified still charges 7.5 watts, which is abysmal to me. I don't understand that. What I'm saying is, made for iPhone certification is clearly all over the place, but not MagSafe. So that's why as a collective, I'm worried about MagSafe, because although people like using it, the manufacturing side of things, it's not widely made like you think it is. There's alternative MagSafe that charges slower. Like you can get the ones from Anker, and you get the Mophie ones and whatnot, but they're not MagSafe. They're just MagSafe compatible. Not the same thing at all. I want the full 25 watts MagSafe for my phone. And like less than 5 products I know can do that, besides the actual charging cord, like Puck. You know, I think Belkin's like the only one that is certified. And why has no one put forth the effort to do that? That's my question.
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, and unless I'm just completely wrong and it's not marketed well enough so I know about it, but there's not that many out there, and I don't know why. That just boggles my mind, because it's a great thing. Like, people that make, mounts for your car, that's the one area that people want MagSafe the most. It's right there in the car, and there's not many people that do it. I don't get that. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Quasey?
I mean, I've used like 6 MagSafe accessories in my life, so it's not the biggest deal for me.
And how many of those are MagSafe certified?
Probably 0, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. Well, I have the
Apple
MagSafe Puck.
Quasey. I'm just asking, like, do you happen to have one that is?
I don't know.
Like, it's hard to find it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think it's harder to find it when you're not looking for it. Like, I just wasn't looking for it, so.
Like, why would you
it
not
didn't really matter
the
too much to
fastest
me.
speed for charging wirelessly? Is there a reason for
because, yeah, when I charge wirelessly, it's at night, and I know I'm not going to be using my phone.
I get that.
I feel like
that makes sense.
The 20 watts is enough, or the 15 watts, whatever it charges at overnight.
It's like 7.5.
It's not that, like, if I wanted my phone to charge fast, I'm not gonna plug it in with MagSafe anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna plug it in wired. So
I understand. I get that. I'm the same way.
I got a 100-watt brick right here with 2 USB-C ports coming out of it. I can't fathom doing it any other way.
Yeah, I have another Anker product, Quasey, that's starting to fail on me.
Really?
Yeah, I really wish Anker would stop their nonsense. I used to love you guys, so all I buy for my charging bricks and cords and everything. And now I'm seeing several products from Anker, like, it's like they're self-fossilizing, so they just stop working. I don't know what's going on with Anker and all the recalls, the batteries exploding and things like this. And like the last big brick that I bought was 120 watt, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to charge my phone, my iPad, be good to go. It did charge them, right? And then I picked up the brick and I dropped it because it was, I thought, hot enough to melt concrete. It was that hot. It burnt my fingertips, and I dropped it onto carpet, and I picked it up and started melting the carpet. Like, I don't know how it wasn't like red hot. It was so hot. And the next time I used it, it stopped charging in 25 minutes, which I found out that it stopped doing that. And when I woke up the next morning, my phone's at 10%. So like, I've I'm kind of boycotting Anchor. And, I had a great relationship with them, with my TikTok page, stuff like that. They're a great brand to work with, but, like, why all of a sudden are you guys just dipping in the quality? Like, come on now. I don't get this. It's sad.
Yeah,
So just
that
be
sounds really
careful with
unfortunate.
Anchor stuff, And I wish I wouldn't be saying this stuff, but my gosh, it's just now it's sad. Like, that could have caused a fire. Like,
Definitely sounds like it
seriously,
could have.
if that would have touched a tree branch, engulfed. That's all I'm saying. But speaking of that, Quasi, did you see that we have a leaked photo of the next iPhone 20?
I have
Not
seen the leaked
next.
photo.
Not next. It's coming soon,
Yeah, no, this
iPhone
definitely
20.
isn't the next one, but
Yeah.
you know,
Next major overhaul, right, that we're seeing. Well, Quasi posted this picture so you can kind of get like a glance at it. Which definitely looks like it's an AI image, kind of, for sure, the way the person's holding this device. This is it. They're really going to be focused on the edge-to-edge display. And it reminds me, Quasi, of the iPhone X kind of design. What do you think?
really.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see it, but did the
it brings
iPhone
that
X have
vibe.
that curved? I can't remember if it was like
No.
a little bit curved
No, no,
around
no,
the
no,
end.
no. I'm talking about like that glistening, like it looks like a metal frame almost, which we have now, of
Mm.
course, but like a stainless steel almost, and it has that like premium look and feel to it. That's what's saying, like the vibe of the iPhone X,
Yeah,
like
I
the
can see where you're
last
coming
shiny
from.
eye product.
I don't
Um,
think this is a bad looking phone at all. I think it looks kind
no,
of it gives off a reminiscent vibe. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like it, but I can see where you're coming from.
yeah, it looks really nice. Um, Here's the thing, Quasi. I wonder what the cost is going to be.
Oh, overly expensive.
Yeah. Here's the other question. This is completely side topic of this. What or when do you think, rather, we'll see a 3 terabyte iPhone?
I don't think that the average person needs a 3 terabyte iPhone. So it's
I
just
would agree
not
with you,
one of the things that I
but
think we're going to see soon.
I think Apple has realized that there is a use case to put multiple terabytes of storage in an iPhone because, things are a photo that's 4K, high res, or Apple RAW, or whatever, is a really high image size video in 4K, recording at 30 or 60 frames per second. Like, it just takes a lot of space. The apps you can get, people use the device primarily for their pictures and videos, and then lots of apps or whatever they want to use it for, right? So I'm just more curious. Am I upset with what we have now? Not at all. 2 terabytes is what I've been waiting for a long time. I don't have it yet, but my next iPhone hopefully we'll have it when that comes out. So, and we'll see. But yes, I think that looks incredible. And we just want to kind of show this. So it's going to be the all glass design with curved edges. Okay. That's really nice. You
Yeah.
have more screen real estate and it kind of curves that. So that might be made nice. Like, let's say you're holding it, right? And you can use your thumb, not going over top the screen, but on the side with the slider for like your volume, for instance, right? I'm not saying there won't be a physical button, but I'm saying it might be an easy way to do it, like right there. What if you want to have just more real estate in general to do more things? That's a great little thing too. Now, I will say, this design, if you look really closely, Quasi, does not have a dynamic island.
Let's see that. Well, it does have a dynamic island. It's just really small.
Yeah, well, they're saying no. Like, when I say the dynamic island, I'm talking about the interface with that cutout is
Mm.
going away, it looks
You're
like.
getting rid of that?
It looks like for this device.
Wow.
Well, see, so Ross Young with DSCC, which is just about 100% accurate, they say the technology is unlikely to be ready for 2027. However, they're still testing an under-screen camera. It seems like that the small hole punch, or reduced version of the small dynamic island, is expected on the iPhone 18 Pro models. So we'll see on these phones, but it looks like that they're really trying to get rid of that and just use a pinhole or under-screen display, which will probably be out in 2028 and 2029 era. So I'm looking forward to that. I gotta say, dynamic island was a great little addition to kind of hiding that and utilizing that area. I like that. And it's wonderful.
It's
Okay.
true. I've never had
Two
an
size
issue with my
options, Quasi.
dynamic island.
Huh?
I've never had an issue with my dynamic island. I've always really
I
liked
love
it.
it.
So
I love it. It's great. You'll see a 6.3 and a 6.9 display for the iPhone. Sorry, 20, and then it's matching the iPhone 18s as well.
great.
Haptic buttons. Solid state haptic buttons for the device. That's going to be quite nice. So that was it the iPhone 8 era haptic buttons? Like the home button?
Like taptic buttons or haptic?
Haptic.
Like where you put, like where you can push in the button, or like,
I think
or is it like
haptic in this case
capacitive?
means like the iPhone 8, where it's like a button, but you don't
But
physically push something
yeah,
down.
there's a taptic thing in the back. The thing, like you push it down and it feels like a button, but it's not actually moving.
The vibration makes you feel like you pushed the button, but you really didn't do it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
First and foremost, I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I loved it. And it always worked. Always worked.
Yeah, it was absolutely awesome.
So we might be seeing that for the volume buttons as well as the power and maybe the Siri button stuff too. Okay, here's a question. So with that's got to mean that the camera button too is going to probably have that. And you have the 16, correct?
I do have a 16, yes.
So you have that button. I tell you what, on my vacation, I use that button to take pictures a lot, and I really like it a lot.
I love this button.
It's such a great button.
Oh, I have a new.
It's part of the reason why I bought the iPhone 17 Pro Max, because I had the 15, and it was just a great thing, and I love it. So that's the iPhone 20 kind of, overall what we see right now. And that'll be a John Ternus iPhone, just so you know, as CEO. So I want to see what he's going to put into that, because that's a big release. That is an anniversary edition iPhone. So that's going to be like the 10th anniversary with the iPhone 10. So I hope it's amazing and I get a price, right? So
yeah,
that's a sneak peek of it. Okay. Let's move on, Quasi.
All right. So in addition to the iPhone that they're definitely not going to be announcing at WWDC 2027, we'll probably be seeing some privacy-focused smart glasses at that same WWDC. All right, so at next year's WWDC, Apple is planning to unveil some new smart glasses featuring new hardware and software privacy features. The glasses will likely include cameras, but Apple is considering models without cameras or models that have limited recording capabilities. So much like the Meta Ray-Bans, did you know that people actually, I won't call them creeps, but some people are disabling that light in their Meta Ray-Bans so that they can record people without people knowing. And
you can
I just don't know if that, yeah. Meta's been trying to fight back by if it notices that you've tampered with the glasses, it just like completely turns it off. But there are people who run entire businesses with the sole purpose of getting rid of that light. So
I want to get rid of it for one reason only. When it's flashing for the recording, I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's massively bright.
That's the only reason why I would want to do that. Where do you even do such a thing?
There's people on Facebook Marketplace, but you won't find them anymore because Meta runs Facebook Marketplace, and they just...
no. So you're saying it's like a hardware change?
Yeah, they mess with the hardware to...
Oh, it's not like a little flip of a button on...
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a little flip of a button.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, okay. Now I get what you're saying. Yeah, I like it because people know that you're recording, right? And I get that.
Yeah.
But for the person recording, you can see right there the flash. And it's so annoying. I guess it notifies you it's recording too, right? Besides the sounds. But I don't like that where you see it too, and it's just right in your way. That's all I'm saying. People should. Hey, your iPhone doesn't do that, or any other device that's a phone.
It's true.
I hate that. It used to be a red little blinking dot when someone's recording, and they took that away. So you have no idea when someone's recording you. It's kind of a sad thing to say. But yeah, Quasi, excited for this? What are your thoughts
I
about these
mean,
glasses?
it's just I don't think I'm gonna buy these glasses simply because by 2027, I don't know if I'll have money. A lot of cool products coming out, right? A lot of cool games. Wolverine comes out in November, right? So there's money going towards Wolverine. Uh, on
Have
Tuesday,
fun.
NBA 2K just told us they're dropping 2K27, and I promise you guys, I wasn't gonna buy this game, but then LeBron James came to my hometown team, and I need the new
Uh-huh.
rosters.
Okay.
I don't even think I got to mention that on the podcast. Did you know that the LeBron Raymond James is now on my Philadelphia 76ers? I'm gonna be insufferable.
Hmm.
And don't let us win the NFL. Don't let us win the Super Bowl and then win the NBA Finals, because you won't be able to talk to me. Like, I'll be insufferable. Like,
Hmm.
unfortunately, I come from Philly, and we're insufferable sometimes. It's really unfortunate. But
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
yeah, I
But
mean,
like,
so a lot of money just being spent.
here's my question, and I'll bring this up again. I think I asked this before. Do you think there's gonna be a combination of like sunglasses and like actual nice reading glasses, but prescriptions like they're gonna
I don't
do
think
like a
there'll be like
combination of things?
transitions, but I do think that they'll have like either or.
Because like one thing, if I wasn't gonna buy just the sunglasses part, what I think would be kind of a cool concept would be sunglasses and then transitions to blue light glasses. So
That
Audi
would be pretty cool.
sunglasses. That's a cool little concept. So that's something they could maybe do and give me credit for. It's kind of cool. But what I'm saying though is, um, I have smart glasses now from Meta Ray-Bans. I like them quite a bit. I wish there's things I could do a little bit more with them, but putting the Apple Touch on things would be just, I think, incredible what they're going to do, and having that connection to my phone a little bit better than I do with Meta Ray-Bans, would be really nice. The one thing though that I'm curious to hear about is like, what's the battery life going to be? Is it going to last you 6-7 hours? Because it's really tiny, right? In perspective. And then what's the function going to offer? Is it going to offer you to take pictures and videos? Can you see like the Vision Pro in a sense, things like infrared through the screen? Um, you know, beyond that, are they going to be water resistant? That's gonna be something I really want. I'm not saying I want to go in the water and swim with them, which I guess for some people, if they are like gonna swim in the pool and they have to wear glasses, that'd be kind of a cool function, right? But
Yeah,
like, my big thing is with Meta Ray-Bans is if it starts to rain, I can't wear them. So, because if they get wet, not good. And did you know? I don't know if I brought this up. There was a guy who had the Oakley Ray-Bans. When I at Chipotle about 3 weeks ago, and he had him on, and it was like absolutely just storming outside. He
well,
had him on, we went into Chipotle, and then we had him when we left in the rain. And I'm like, does he not know those cannot get wet like that? I don't know.
probably doesn't.
Had the opportunity, though, to try on and test out the Oakley Meta Ray Bans, and I gotta say, if you can leave Quasi, they suck. It was
Yeah,
awful.
I also
It
tried
looked
them on.
terrible.
I'm
It
just
looked
not a
so
fan of
much
it.
better
Like, they look
in
good
the
on Patrick
pictures.
Mahomes. They look good on Patrick
Oh,
Mahomes, but they're just not for
he
me.
has a different
You know?
version. The one I seen,
Yeah,
it was the best way I can describe it. Do you know like those steampunk looking goggles kind of thing you see, like all over the place?
yeah.
Those look better. Like, I don't know, there was disastrous looking, and it actually had less response time and it didn't work as well. And I really thought they're like a prototype almost. That's how bad they looked. Oh
It's
man.
just unfortunate.
And they have a
Hey,
different like a ski goggle version too, which looked a lot better
really?
actually. Yeah,
I
like
didn't know that.
I want to say like they're like the like this big ones, like you won't get sunburnt there kind of ones on
Oh,
half your face. Um,
hey. So I was going through this and I'm realizing that you definitely put this Apple upgrade program in the show notes, and we already talked about this. This is on me. I didn't realize it was in here, so I went out of turn. I would
No,
like to apologize to everyone, starting
it's
first and
okay.
foremost with Adam, and then my
Don't
mom, and then my dad,
don't,
and
don't
just everybody
apologize. It's
else.
like we'll just not talk about that when we get to it. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean
If you
this
go
is
out of
terrible.
order, I don't even care. It's not a problem at all. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. But
Okay.
with this in mind, Quasi, like, you don't wear glasses currently, which is still good. But like, do you see yourself going to smart glasses for sunglasses or even blue light?
Maybe for blue light. I don't know about sunglasses because I don't wear that many sunglasses. Right?
I can't go without them.
Like
It's terrible.
if I'm wearing sunglasses, if I'm wearing glasses at all, it's mostly because I've got like an outfit on that calls for glasses. Um,
Oh
but
man, Quasi.
I used to be a huge dude. When I was in like sixth grade, I used to always wear sunglasses, and then I went to Baltimore, and in like one of the gift shops, there was like these spy glasses with like little mirrors on the back, and I thought they were the coolest thing ever. So I would like wear them every single day. Um, of course, I was a child, and so I thought like a child. And looking back, they're not the like least cool thing I've ever purchased. But I definitely would not be wearing them today, if that makes sense. I'm
Yeah,
no
I
longer a
get it.
loser. But
I
yeah,
now having smart glasses. I want to keep using them, and I want to see what they're going to offer in the future. The one thing, there's no medical evidence with this currently, but I just wonder if like having the speakers and or whatever else it has, Bluetooth and stuff like that, that close to your head at all times, if you wear them that much, is that going to cause problems with health in the future?
I
That's my
sure hope
question,
not,
which
because
we
I
don't know
have these
yet.
AirPods in 24/7. All right, okay, not these ones specifically, but I always like
They
if you
do say
catch
those
Quasi
can
in
cause
the school
problems.
year, I I will likely have at least one AirPod in my ear.
Just at least do this, Quace. You have to give your ear time to breathe. That makes sense.
Yeah, it gets time to breathe when it dies, and I switch to the other one. Like
Just just not what I was trying to say at all, Quacy. Like,
it gets
have your
time to breathe when
ears
I'm
have
like
no headphones
no
for
headphones. Ooh, wow.
yeah,
Um, do you know how much these two headphones combined cost me? This is five
more
hundred
than
dollars sitting right here.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Did you know this is my fourth pair of AirPod Pros? That
I
means
I
that this is $1,000 in AirPod Pros.
I,
All right.
I get it, Quacy.
I have to wear them. Like
I'm not saying don't use them.
I spent too much
I'm
money.
just saying maybe at some point you want to like, just let your ears breathe without anything in it. That's all I'm
Just
saying.
don't know why I'd want to do that and not listen to my music.
You ever thought
Music is
about like
very
listening to
integral
it
to my
like on
life.
speakerphone or something?
Oh, absolutely not. Dude,
Just
I listen to a wide range of music, and while there's some stuff I'd be comfortable with other people, like I don't listen to like anything crazy, right? But sometimes I'm in a group of people that I don't want to listen to the exact music that I'm listening to. For example, I listen to a butt ton of worship music, like a lot of worship music.
what's
And
wrong with that?
if I'm hanging out with friends who aren't exactly Christians, I don't want them to like clown me because this is what I'm listening to. Like this is what
Are they unaware that you listen
sits well with
to
my soul.
worship music?
No, I think over the course of last year I made it very clear to my friends. Actually, there was this one song, I don't remember who it's by, but it had some very vulgar lyrics. It was like I like whips and chains and yada yada yada. Right? And I was like, you know what? Why don't we play some of that goodness of God? Right? And I was shunned. Mind you, I was with a group of Christians and I was shunned. I've never felt so ashamed of my friends in my life. It's
Hmm.
like we got lucky and we got to be better, right? And now this isn't like a Christian podcast or anything, but you know, I'm a believer. Adam's a believer from what
Same.
I've heard. I just like I feel like at some point we got to be better, ladies and gentlemen. You know,
This is true, but that was the point I was trying to make with this, Quasi. I'm just saying, like, let's say, you're by yourself in your apartment or whatever, right? You listen to some tunes. You can
yeah.
just,
I
like,
mean, I have speakers everywhere in my apartment.
okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So, like, during that time, your ears can, like, not have headphones and enjoy some, I don't
This
know,
is true, but
breathability.
there's
That's what
still
I'm
some
trying to say.
music going on. Like,
I get it, music while you're working stuff makes it
yeah,
go by. It's nice.
it's very important to me.
Um, I'm excited for these. I'm not sure they're going to cost. And I want to see what they're going to do
Probably like
with it and how they're going
700 if I
to
had to
announce and
guess.
stuff. I'm excited. So we'll see what's going to come of this.
Speaking of cost, Adam, did you know that Apple is facing a lawsuit from 3 customers who lost? You see how I rhymed cost with lost?
I
A
did.
combined $1.8 million to a fake Bitcoin wallet app in the App Store. Now, first and foremost, I don't think this is 100% on Apple, right? But the
I don't think so
lawsuit
either.
is alleging that Apple violated consumer protection laws by failing to adequately review and monitor apps despite marketing the App Store as a safe and trusted environment. The plaintiffs are seeking damages, including reimbursements of their lost funds. Now, let me stop you right here. So, because I downloaded an app on my iPhone, right? And then I didn't vet the app. I didn't do a quick Google search. Hey, is Robinhood safe? Right? And then it didn't come back with a list of results. Robinhood's so great. Robinhood's yada, 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 right? Robinhood's not the app, by the way. The Robinhood's not the app that let them lose 1.8 million. But it's like, at some point, you got to do your own research too. Why are we putting money into LeBron wallet, right? What are we doing? That's not reputable. You gotta, like, I think some things are user error, right? How you say survival of the fittest? No, it's not that one. But I just don't think that they would make it. They're not the smartest people. Granted, I've never worried about an app I've purchased off the App Store, right? That's never been a thing for me. But
Well,
the thing is called Sparrow Wallet, and I've never even heard of Sparrow Wallet before. It's you really got to think about it. If you haven't heard of this thing before, why are we putting our entire life savings into it?
I'm conflicted, Quasi. Here's why I say that. On one hand, what if Apple did vet it, right? And this guy had a great, pitch to say this is all great and stuff. Here's my record, track record, all that stuff, right? And like they put money into it, and he just stole it. I'm pretty sure he didn't say to Apple, I'm just gonna do this, steal people's money, and maybe get a cut of it or whatever, right? It's sure it's not what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
At the same
I
time,
can't fathom that being the case.
At the same time, as what Quasi said, we should do our own research, but people have grown to trust the apps that's on the App Store as another part of this, right? So with that being an over 10-year kind of thing, right, that we see currently, people rely and trust with the Apple verification methods before the app gets put on the App Store. So I guess if that's the case, and I'm always thinking that these apps are going to be safe and stuff, and the things that happen, I understand that aspect of it. But on the other hand, if Apple had no knowledge of what this guy's intentions were in making this, it's not like this, okay? It's not like that they made a banking app, right? That the bank is called Absolutely Legit Bank. And it's clearly just a scam, right? And Apple's like, you know what? I'm sure they have good intentions. Let's just let that go. And then there's this. That's a whole different kind of conversation. But like, if this guy had a legitimate company with good reports, so on, so on, so on, and just things didn't work out or whatever, it's not really Apple's fault. It's like a Kickstarter, right? I have a great intention, give me some money here, and then it doesn't ever come to be, right? That happens all the time in Kickstarter. But like, there's just that kind of aspect too. So I'm on both sides of this. Like, could Apple do a little bit more to maybe prevent this from happening and maybe vet this guy some more? Yes, but I don't know if that is part of the verification process with Apple. They're probably not saying, does Quasi have all of his teeth? Yes. Now you can put an app in the App Store. Like, they're not going that deep into a person that's releasing the app. What they're doing is they're taking the app IPA file and they're making sure it works the App Store. They're making sure that it works their iPhones. There's no malicious code and stuff in it, and that's what they're kind of doing. So if it passed all that, and the guy just took money and didn't do something with it like he was supposed to, how's it Apple's fault? Right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I think is happy. I didn't read the entire court case and whatever they had for litigation, but I'm not just trying to say Apple's fault and there's no issues, but I'm saying if Apple did let something slip, that's on them too, right? I'll put right back in their face. So we don't know to the extent of what exactly was done with this per se. It's one thing if I just take your money. Like this could happen with a GoFundMe, right? Someone could
it's
say a
true.
GoFundMe, this just say, oh, we need to help this this house that kind of burned down, or there's a tornado recently and they destroyed the entire house, and we're raising funds to this family, and people give them $2 million, right? And they just take the money and they run. That can happen with any kind of app in the App Store, right? So
This
like,
is true.
I guess knowing that kind of side of it, does that change your perspective of this, or does that kind of make you
I mean,
question things, I guess? I don't know.
yeah, I mean, so Apple, obviously, like you said, they don't look like insanely deep into the person making the app, rather into the app itself. And, anybody can scam anybody. So I don't think it's 100% their fault, but I also don't think it's Apple's fault. So I think that they're suing the wrong person is my thing. Hey, Adam, can I let you take the next topic and I'll be back in like 3 minutes, 5 minutes? I have to go do something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. And just to add to this before we go to the next one, the update as of some days ago, Apple took the app off the App Store and all the other apps that he had because, they terminated the developer accounts of that person. So they realized that this person had a bad app and they, bad intentions, and they took it off. So they did a good thing. But we don't know if Apple did invent this properly to fix this kind of issue. So, yeah, and Apple previously announced it terminated over 193,000 developer accounts over fraud concerns and prevention for over $2 billion in potential fraudulent transactions in 2025. So they take good action when there is a problem, right? But, I don't know if I would be suing Apple because of this. Isn't the fault of the person who stole money the one that we should be going after? So, that'd be like me saying I posted something on Facebook Marketplace, right? Got this brand new 2025 Tesla, right? Model S or whatever, right? It's for sale. Got you. So I was like, boy, it's a great deal. Let's go meet up and let's go figure it out, right? It's like, okay, this is a Tesla. Here it is. It's so great, phenomenal stuff, right? And the guy's like, okay, cool. Send me the money. It's yours. I'll bring it to you on Tuesday. And the guy gives him the money, and then the guy deletes his Facebook account, his bank account, takes his money, he runs. It's not his real name. His name is actually Bob, not Sam. And he takes his money. And oh, well, okay, this is really bad. I didn't get my car. I go to the cops. Are the cops gonna say you should probably sue Facebook or the guy who did the problem? I would say it's probably the guy who did the problem, right? Because he's the one committing the fraud, not Facebook. Now, if the person reached out to Facebook and said, hey, I got fraud, this is the problem, so and so, and Facebook's like, go screw yourself, we're not doing anything about it. Okay, that's when you should probably get them involved with some litigation stuff. So it kind of goes both ways. If Apple just blatantly did nothing to rectify this, right? Or maybe give them some money back or do something. I don't know what they could have done exactly, but if that's not something they took any part of helping, I can see how they could be sued as well. But it's just one of those things where I'm just wondering, what's the real reason they're suing Apple? It's because they're hugely rich and they wanted to sue Apple? Or is it that they don't believe they'll get this money back from this fraud that happened. So I guess let us know in the comments below what you guys think about that. Okay, the next topic. MacBook Ultra. We've been talking about this for quite some time. I'm excited to go through a list of what this is going to have. So the MacBook Ultra, first off, is going to be called the Ultra. So it's going to be like their flagship, really awesome MacBook product. And then we're going to finally see an OLED display on a Mac. Even though the current Mac screens look fantastic and really close to an OLED, it's not quite an OLED. It's going to have OLED panels, which has the deep blacks, great contrast and ratios of products, the gammas, everything, right? It's phenomenal. OLED's the best. Mini LED is still nice, but OLED, in my opinion, is still my favorite. So they're going to do the hybrid OLED technology combined with oxidized TFT back pane with tandem 2-stack OLED structure, kind of like the iPad that they're going to be doing, right? So it's like OLED to the second power. So I'm seeing right now, right? That's phenomenal. So it offers a longer panel lifespan. So nice. Sorry, I'm geeking out on this. They're going to have touchscreen. Why? I guess it's because people already think that the Mac is touchscreen. I see too many people touching the Mac screen for either a touchscreen kind of purpose, or it's the people that say, well, look right here. It's somebody else. They just touch your Mac, and I just can't stand that stuff. Stop. It's not yours. Don't even touch my screen. Anyway, touchscreen on a Mac. It's happening. Marcus Germontis has provided proof of this, and they're going to do it. They're going to have a touchscreen and no touchscreen Mac, okay, which is really cool because, I don't really want a touchscreen Mac. It's just me. Touch optimized Mac OS. So, what's nice about that is, much like the iPad, we're getting really close to a combination of the OS with having this functionality. Now, I want to know from the audience, do you guys really want to see touchscreen on a Mac? And if so, why? Or you're like, no, I'm just not for that. I don't want to do that. So I want to know what you guys' thoughts are with that, because this is kind of an important change with the MacBook. This is definitely an ultra feature, and I just kind of want to know what's going on here. Apple is going to also reinforce the hinges for the display, so it doesn't wobble as much. And so when you tap it right now, the screen, it kind of jiggles, right? Because that's just not meant for a touchscreen. But with a touchscreen interface, it's got to be more reinforced. So it doesn't just bobble back and forth like, I don't know, a thing that does that, I guess, right? Hole punch camera. The notch is expected to disappear, replaced by a far smaller hole punch camera at the top of the display. These changes were first indicated by a roadmap with OMDA, Media, has since corroborated by Bloomberg. So this is going to be the visible area that you see currently on the Mac. The little hole punch design, or not hole punch, the little pill design is going to be shrunk down to a hole punch. That's kind of nice as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Dynamic Island is coming to Mac because of this. A nice feature as well. M5 Pro and M5 Max chips. That's going to be a great addition to this. And I can't wait to see this a little bit more with it too. So we're going to see that. And they're going to also introduce... they scrapped M6 Pro, M6 Max altogether and going to M7. Interesting. Why are they doing that? I don't get that. Probably because of cost right now. But the M5 Pro and M5 Max chips are going to be going into these, which are fantastic as we know. And I can't wait to see what's going to be on a MacBook. Thin design. I don't know why it has to be thin. Personally, it's already pretty thin now. Pretty soon, the USB-C is going to be the biggest part of the entire MacBook. So, interesting to say the least. We're also going to see two display sizes, 14 and 16 inch. What's up, Quasey? He's back, just not really back right now. It's okay. Push this stupid. There it is. We'll go away. There we go. There's its back. Okay. Slimmer bezels. That's going to be a fantastic time when we're going to see more of an edge display for the bezels for the MacBook Ultra. Can't wait for that. Built-in cellular connectivity. That means your limited data plans that you have with your carriers or whatever else is going to be seen on the MacBooks. So I'm kind of sure this hasn't happened in the MacBook yet, but we're going to see the C1X modem add to C2 and 5G and LTE connections to the MacBook. Great functionality, right? I can't wait for that because that's going to be a great little, when you're on a road trip somewhere or if you're going to be remote from Wi-Fi, you can use this functionality and it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for that. Okay, Mac OS 27, Golden Gate. This is going to be what's on here, which is really nice as well. Now, here's the thing, Quasi. The price point is going to be quite expensive for this MacBook Ultra. It's going to start at approximately $2,999. Sorry, that's a current M5 Pro 16-inch. Expected to be more expensive than that. So potentially $3,500.
Wow.
That's for the base, by the way. I think that's going to be insane. Oh, boy. Do you have any, I guess, Quasi, what's your top 3 features of the MacBook Ultra that we see here that you're most excited for?
Okay, so I think this is going to be a little bit underrated, but I think that reinforced hinge,
Okay.
because when I tap my thing, it doesn't wobble. You know, my screen wobbles a little bit when I tap it. Then again, I'm tapping it pretty hard, but I think that can lead to less issues in the future, right? Then the dynamic island. I really thought when they added this notch that we were gonna get like something like a dynamic island. So not that so actually the notch isn't noticeable 90% of the time when you're using the Mac, right? This Mac Pro that I have is kind of just where the menu bar sits, and then when you move when you're not using the menu bar, it kind of just all goes black. So like I'm not losing any space as compared to like a computer without the notch that still has to have that menu bar space. So I I would like to see the dynamic island for that though. And obviously, I'm a big fan of the chips, right? So seeing that M5 Pro and that M5 Max chip being in this thing now I should make this very clear. I was expecting the M6, right? I was expecting to see an M6 Pro and M6 Max, but that's not to say that the M5 is bad at all. So, those are probably an M7 would be cool to see too. But those are probably my top 3 from this MacBook Ultra.
Mine are
And
going to
then
be a little different than you would expect.
really,
My first is what you would expect, OLED display. My
right?
absolute number 1, can't wait for that to be a thing. Secondly, for me, thinner bezels. Are they awful? No, but you just wish they weren't there. I want edge to edge. That's the first thing. I kind of want that. We're going to basically get that now. Lastly, built-in cellular. To have the option to use data. Because here's the thing. Yes, my phone has a hotspot functionality, right? But carriers
Yeah.
screw you over a little bit with that, right? They say, oh, you can have hotspot, but you can only have so much data on the hotspot. Or they say, oh, you get limited data, but you can only have so much speed then. Why you gotta restrict it? Just stop that. Stop the nonsense. So what if now, as you know, you get to have that on your primary device, on your plan with the carrier, right? And that's not restricted, but the hotspot mode restricts it. So if you don't have that functionality or restrictions on the new Mac, you can get your fast 5G speeds, unlimited data. That's a cool little function. I mean, I like some other things too on here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the rest are bad, but those are my top 3 by far. So, okay, MacBook Ultra, that is it. Quace is going to tell you about some new things with iCloud.
Yeah.
That's in
So
iOS 27.
hopefully my mom's watching this section because the other day, it was like 3 days ago. I called my younger brother, right? He was in the room with my mom. They're all my family sharing, right? I was like, you know what? I'm feeling really benevolent today. That's the word I used. I said, I'm feeling really benevolent. I'm gonna share my 2 terabytes of iCloud storage with you guys, right? Now, this was a hard moment for me. But then I realized I have 5 extra terabytes just sitting at Google that I'm not using. So worst case scenario, I can use those. And I'm only using 700 gigabytes of it right now. So 700 gigabytes of my iCloud. So
Okay.
it's not crazy. But if you have iCloud Plus, like my everybody on my family sharing does now, you guys will have access to these features. I also want to put out there, did you know my dad pays for 2 terabytes of iCloud and he uses maybe 210 gigabytes. And he could have really, my dad refused to put me and my siblings on my family share on his family sharing. Let's just put that out there.
Do you know why?
He hates me. I don't know. He didn't want to share. I don't know. Like I couldn't tell you. Anyhow, so HomeKit Secure Video. If you have those cameras, those HomeKit Secure Video cameras, you're gonna have a couple of new Apple Intelligence features, like summaries of what's going on, like this person was seen moving by your thing, or like a raccoon ran across your deck, right? Um, so if you want that though, you have to have the 2 terabyte or higher iCloud Plus
That's why your
plan.
dad has it. Right there.
No, I think my dad uses Ring. I'm not entirely sure, but
I'll try and give
I
any
think we have Ring
justification
camera.
why your dad
I
has
mean,
the 2 terabyte.
I don't know why he has it, to be quite honest. Maybe 200 wasn't enough, and the next plan is freaking 2 terabytes for some reason. I
Or
have
maybe
no
he's
idea.
like Quasi and bought it by accident, but just refuses to go back and turn it around. Like Quasi bought the Pro
Hey,
Max because he did not like it, forgot that he got the wrong one. And
fact, I was in the
oh,
store
we're over a block away. I can't be bothered to go back
oh,
and just get
we
the right
weren't even
one.
over a block away. We might have just turned out of the thing when I looked at both boxes. I was like, that's
So
weird.
Quasi could have sneezed and his sneeze spread could have hit the Apple store or wherever he's at,
We were at
and that
Verizon,
yeah. That
but yeah,
just
we definitely
he's just
we're at
not
that phone.
saying that he really likes the Pro Max and he bought it on purpose. I get
I'm
it. He
telling
just
you,
doesn't
the
want to
only
admit
thing I
that.
like about this is the battery. Right? I really wish I had a smaller phone with this size battery.
Yeah, I think
I
you're
miss
liking it
being
more than you
able
think you
to
do.
like. I miss being able to have my thumb down here and reach all the way to the top of my phone. Like there's a
Quasi
decent
is another
10% that I
hand
can't reach.
that you can use to do just
Yeah,
that.
but
So
if you remember,
know.
I was a one-handed I use one hand for most of the things.
Okay,
Right?
I understand,
Like
but
I'm even one of those guys who like types like this sometimes.
okay. There's, I understand. I think you're getting used to it and you like it. So,
I think for the audio listeners, that's swipe to type that I was just demonstrating.
yes.
You guys definitely couldn't see that, but
Well, here's the thing.
I swipe to type sometimes.
Quasi, would you get iPhone Pro Max or Fold?
Um, Probably the Pro
Not
Max.
because don't take the price out of the equation. You're just going to
Yeah,
choose something,
like I was taking the
right?
price out of the equation. The Pro Max is gonna have a better chip. The Pro Max is also gonna have 3 cameras rather than
MagSafe.
2. Yeah, I just think it's the better overall phone. Now, I'm not saying that the Pro Max is a bad phone. I've never said that. It's just not the right phone for Quasi, right? It's entirely too big for Quasi
It
is the only issue.
it just does like you guys see Quasi sitting down most of the time. This man has
Yeah.
problems going underneath underpasses sometimes because he might hit the top of that. It's Quasi's not a
I'm
small
not
dude,
that big.
okay? Like that fan on concerns me when he stands up. That's what I'm trying to say. It to me just seems funny that a person of his stature just doesn't seem like that the Pro Max would fit his normal everyday life, and he wants to get a phone that requires the Hubble telescope to see it. And when he has a phone call, his voice
I don't
sounds
know. I
smaller.
just
You know,
I like
that's what I don't
to talk
understand.
crap.
You
I
know,
don't know.
like, that's just, I guess that's just me, you know? I, I think I'm going to spend that much money on a device for only $100 more. I still think it's still the case. You get like bigger everything, better battery, better everything. And, you know, like, I found myself crazy watching TV shows and movies on my phone. Not because I
Really?
hate my TVs. It's because the situation I'm in, right? I mean, I have a spot, I can listen to something right now and watch something like, at lunch or whatever, right? So, like, uh, I just like that little bit better screen. That's just my personal preference. I get that. You can like the smaller one. I get that. But, like, I just, deep down, the fact that she made no effort to, like, say, hey, maybe I don't want to get this phone, and you still did it, just tells me one of two things. Either you're just trying to be really lazy and just didn't want to go back, or two, you really deep down like it and you don't want to admit it. And that's okay.
So my thing was at that point, I had never had a Max phone before. Like I didn't get any of the iPhone pluses. I always like I could have had the 8 Plus. I thought the 8 Plus was too big. Um, like I've always thought they were really big, and so when I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute. Either he got either he didn't get a Pro Max, or I got a Pro Max because these boxes are the same size, right? And my dad, I don't think I've ever seen him without the biggest phone that Apple offers, right? And so I figured, I love my dad. He's one of my biggest role models. I look up to him. Let's try to be like him for once, right? Now, do I regret the decision? I wouldn't say I regret it. Yeah, the phone's entirely too big at some points, but also at some times I find myself really appreciating that extra, like not just the battery life. I do find myself appreciating the screen size at some points. Like if I'm watching YouTube while, because if you guys know me, anytime I go out to eat, even if I'm with friends, there will be YouTube playing. And you know what? Now that I say that out loud, I sound
You
like a
didn't do
child.
that for us.
I definitely didn't do that for you. I didn't want your wife to think I was a child. I didn't, I didn't want to disrespect
Well,
you. That'd be terrible.
she's watching this podcast, and now she's gonna know the truth.
We're just gonna go ahead and cut that out. Nobody will ever hear about that. But yeah, I mean, I I'm a big fan of YouTube, as you guys know. Like
I
I
like it
we
too.
had Chase on the podcast and Chase was I think he was advocating for Google to up the price because I'm so dependent on YouTube. Google, please
YouTube
actually
Premium's
lower
worth
the
it. The
price.
no
I
ads
just
and all that stuff, and yeah.
I accidentally switched my account the other day. I got 2 unskippable ads before a video, and I was like, "Oh, this is why I pay for premium." Like,
Yeah. Not
I
just that, you
remember
get other
back in the
features
day,
too, but
you'd get like one 30-second ad and you could skip it after 5 seconds.
yeah.
I just don't think that's a thing now. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not a thing, but it's
So,
whatever.
this next topic, I should preface with this. This is not a topic to talk about political, one way or the other. I don't want this to become a thing where people or me or Quasi are talking about a certain government official about this, but I brought this up for very good reasons, and I just wanted to everybody know that it's not a political discussion. It's about the overall tech side of it. Okay, just so we're on the same page. Okay, so President Trump vows to reverse the EU fines against Apple and other tech companies, which would be like Meta, Google, Apple, and so on. With I didn't know this was even happening, by the way, that there's fines they have to pay because of boy, I guess I didn't read this fully. Oh, the European Union is against, so I think this is what he's saying. This is a Trump thing. Hold up here.
Yeah, it can
But
be
it's the
hard to
European
understand
tariffs.
sometimes.
That's what it is. I just completely forgot for a minute there. So much like how there's tariffs from other countries to here, they're also introducing things as well back to us. And there is, lots of fines. Like, I think it's like $15 billion overall that there's fines with, and Trump is trying to stop that. And talk about like, even Amazon having $2.5 billion as a whole for fines. Meta has $3 billion. Apple has, what is it? My gosh, even more. What is it? $570 million, 2025, and so on, so on, so on. So I guess what I wanted to bring up is I like that they're kind of doing this to help out Apple and just really us, because we have to figure out the bottom line that we're going to be paying to for things. Queasy, what's your overall stance on this kind of topic, taking politics out of it completely? More so of like what's kind of happening, is what EU is doing just unethical and wrong, and why, and what are your overall thoughts with this before I get into it?
EU is doing this necessarily unethical, right? Because
Okay.
what they're doing is in favor of their constituents, right? However, it's not in favor of the U.S. constituents, and I think that our president's plan to investigate and maybe reverse some of those fines that the European Union has put on our U.S. Tech companies. As a really patriotic guy, as everybody knows I am, right? I just think that anything that reverses the damage done by other countries to U.S. companies is a good thing, in my professional opinion. Right now, this has nothing to do with politics. Whether Obama did it or whether Trump did it, I think this is a move I'd support. Now, granted, I have not been known to be the biggest supporter of the most recent presidents. Right, I think the last president that I was known to be a fanboy of. Hold on, did I tell you about the Obama building that just spawned? And okay, I thought I forgot to mention that. I'm a big fan of Obama, but he literally just spawned his thing. It wasn't there. Like, I never saw it getting built. Like, I did you ever see that building getting built?
I did not.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of spawned
Sorry
in.
to like say that when you're saying that.
Yeah,
I was incorrect of what they're finding the companies for. I thought it was tariffs. It's not
no, I
tariffs.
think it's like when they
Antitrust laws,
yeah,
regulations, or DMA.
and we
Now
previously
I
saw
really don't like
Trump
them.
threatening them with tariffs if they didn't stop targeting us, and I think the day Trump got into office, he started levying some crazy tariffs, and I don't want to say I wasn't right there with him. I was cheering him on. I was like, yeah, get them. And then I realized it may not be the best thing. It may be the best thing. I really don't know. I'll do some more research on it and get back to you guys with a completely neutral opinion, so that we can
Like,
keep the viewers.
I wonder if Europe is doing this to Apple because it's Apple and Google and Meta, right? Specifically,
Yeah.
like really top tech companies in America, right? But like, why is Europe not saying to fast food places that, we're going to be suing them and introducing fines because the straws aren't square, because they fit a spot better, right? You can really dive into some ridiculous acquisitions and claims and things that you want to sue out there because of whatever, right? And I think that the issue we have is that Europe has gotten away with some of their things that are nonsense, and Apple's given in to things, and so has other companies. And it's a catch-22. Either you give in to let your customers in that region get your products, or you say no, and they don't get them, and they have to get them other ways, right? And even though it's a smaller market that Apple has and Google and Meta and so on, right, it's still a market nonetheless. So it's a hard decision either way. But at the same time, Europe has them in a trap, and that's the problem. They can say whatever they want to say and say, oh man, I just can't stand that Apple has a USB-C port on the very bottom, not the very top of the phone. I want to change this. Like, at what point is the nonsense just too much? And they're going to keep testing this. That's what they're going to do. I'm not trying to jinx it. That's what they're doing now. So it just gets to be insanely and ridiculous. And at some point, maybe Apple should just say, No, stop it. And if a certain region can't get something, they'll get other means. They'll vacation in America to buy their device and come over back to Europe or something, right? Whatever it's going to take. Because if someone wants the device back, they're going to get it, right? But what I'm saying though is, I am just like, this kind of stuff is ridiculous. And this goes for Apple, Google, Meta, and Amazon in this case, right? It's so ridiculous. And the fines are egregiously expensive. Millions of dollars, Quasi. Money we'll never see in our lifetime, right? Combined. And we're just, Europe needs to focus on more pressing issues in their country and the worldwide problems that we're having rather than little nitbit things like this.
Yeah, like
Okay,
the lack of
people,
air conditioning.
well, there's a lot of issues we had that are way more important than this right here. Oh, Apple has, a majority in the marketplace for getting apps and stuff, and we can't side load. You're talking about first world issues. You're talking about this, and there's people that are homeless that don't have the proper, necessary life things they need, water and food and shelter. That should be a major priority for people rather than stupid, this can't get this OS in this app. I'm so upset. I want a sideload. Like, it just seems to me egregious that this is even a discussion. This gets back to the Epic Games versus Apple. I think it's all nonsense. It's very stupid. Stop being greedy and stop making nonsense because I get that Apple has policies in place and they make more money. I'm not saying that they're doing this just for our gain. It's also for their gain too. I understand that side of it. I get that maybe there's be some regulation for certain things, but to make a complete forced entry into this is kind of stupid because what's happening is this. As I said before, at what point is what they're going to say too much? What do they say next? That you have to use a European carrier. You can't use an American carrier because we're Europe. We don't like Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. You have to use one from Europe because we need to give our market a chance because you guys are using United States-based carriers. And if you don't do this for iPhone, where it's only American or only European carriers, you can't sell in our country. That sounds egregious and worthy of taking your sandal and throwing them out there in their face because that's a stupid acquisition and claim. But does that sound out of their own possibilities? No. That's the crazy part about it. They're going nonsense mode 100%, and there's some person there. I get what it is. I bet you the people saying this are Android users. That's what it gotta be, because no one that has an iPhone is super upset you can't sideload. Are there apps that kind of want
I
to get
would
there
be
only on
super upset.
Android?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Am I devastated? Am I crying at my bed every night? No. Like, it just seems silly this is even a discussion. And being forced. It's one thing if they say, well, maybe you should change this, and they can make some adjustments, but not say, without you making these changes, we're going to keep fining you money because we can, we will. We're Europe. Stop it. That's my point. What are your thoughts, Quasi?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like I said earlier, so I actually had a thought formulating in my mind and then it completely went blank. But anyway, I just think that they're targeting the US companies, like I said earlier, and that it's not 100% in favor of Europe's constituents. Like, obviously, some things like side loading. Okay, maybe that was a big deal in Europe. Maybe they can't get the app they want, right? So they need to silo. But I just don't think that that was a big enough issue for us to be like, yeah, in the US, we're going to force you to do X, Y, Z. So I think that, what we saw the president call it highly illegal and unethical. So, you know, I, I kind of agree with him. I think that some of it was unethical. Obviously, they're not all bad changes. They've had some
True.
good changes. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like the USB-C thing, that wasn't a bad change in my opinion. I thought that was a great change for everybody. It keeps more waste out of landfills, and obviously everybody's going to
But
have
it
to switch
doesn't,
over to
though.
that USB-C. And well, after you switch over to that USB-C, like everybody has a USB-C charger now. You know what I mean? Like you can't go to a
But what
college
happens
campus
to
and be
their
like, "Hey, bro, do
previous
you have a charger?" and
charges?
not find it. Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like
You know?
after you switch over, uh, you're gonna have that initial uptake in in more chargers and landfills. But after that, once everybody's on the same thing, it's better for everybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like USB-C. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying that,
Yeah, it's
like,
not like USB-C is bad, but
their
it
their
sucks.
reasoning doesn't always make a lot of sense. That's what I'm trying to say. So, let us know what you guys think down below. Are the fines necessary? If you're from Europe and you agree with this, disagree, let us know why. And just kind of want to get your take on this because, we have our own opinion. I want to hear yours for sure.
Okay. Just a
And we do
really
have to
quick
kind
thing.
of,
I have two quick topics for you. Yeah,
okay,
I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second. Just give me a second. There was a fire outside the Apple building called Apple Forge One, which is on 18920 to 18922 Forge Drive, which is right by Apple Park. Apparently there was huge damage, and but there's only damage to, somebody described it as huge, but apparently there's only damage to some fencing on the property. So after
yeah.
45 minutes, the thing was done, and there's no reported injuries. So it's currently unclear if there's any
Very
injuries.
good. I just want to bring it up
And
because there's a fire, and I just want to give props to the fire department near that region that they took care of it and time air, and there's no injuries. So I just want to give some props to them. Good job. Good job. Good
good
job.
job.
Okay, Quasi, what's your app and product of the week? Oh, sorry, you said you had two
Well,
topics. What's your other
yeah,
topic?
there's
I'm sorry.
definitely one more. We've been talking a lot about how Sony's getting rid of digital games. Is that going to prevent you from getting GTA 6, which is only digital? Okay, so why do you have such an issue with it then? Sorry, maybe that's an issue for next episode. But what's his name? Dan Houser. He was he was the lead on both GTA 5 and what's the other one that he did? The one that everyone likes.
Red Dead Redemption
Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, he was the
2.
lead
Yeah.
writer on those. And he believes that companies should offer physical games discs if players want them, despite the trend towards digital only releases. And he co-founded Absurd Adventures kind of recently, and he acknowledges the benefits of digital updates for game quality. But although it's convenient, he thinks that if you're a consumer and you still want it, you should be able to get it. Which I don't think it's a crazy take. I don't think that's a crazy take at all.
I just can't share that game with you digitally, Quasi.
This is true, but was I going to share it with you anyway? I don't think so.
Just saying, like, what if you're on the fence about it, what if you've never played before and stuff like that? Like, there's a whole bunch of examples of why people want to keep it and everything, right? And the biggest thing is this, Quasi. Like, what if that game gets shut down, right? But we're at an era where that game fully fits on the disc and you can still play it. What if a gamer gets removed from Steam because, I don't know, maybe Epic Games takes off Fortnite and Rocket League from Steam, right? Now you can't buy it on there. And maybe you had before on there and now they took it away because of licensing. But you have that disc, and guess what? It doesn't matter. I can play a game from the disc whenever I want. That's my example.
You couldn't play GTA 6 off a disc anyway, because
But I'm
first
talking
off,
about like
you
even
gotta be
some
like
older
200
ones, right? Or
gigabytes.
a game that you can fit on a disc. Even some new games that are coming out now can fit on a disc because you have 100 gigabytes of storage on a disc. And it can fully fit on there. So you don't have to download anything. Like, that's my point. And people's other point too. And, that's just what I want to bring up with that. So we gotta kind of hurry up though, because we are running out of time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, product and app of the week, Quasi.
Completely forgot what mine are. Give me 2 seconds. My product of the week is going to be this Yamaha music production synth. Hold on, let me put this on the other screen so I can share it with everybody. Um, so this is I just turned off my video instead of sharing my screen. This is a synthesizer from Yamaha that I was gonna purchase. And you might say, Quaty, you have a piano behind you. This isn't just any piano. It's blue. And that's the main reason I was gonna purchase it, right? Look at this. This is a beautiful blue. Like
Nice.
every other and that's the only one that they offer it on, and they only offer it on the 61 key. If they offered it on this 88 key, I would have it immediately. But so this is my product of the week. I just thought it's really cool. If you're looking for
It's
a
nice.
synthesizer,
I
this
like
is a
it.
really good one too. Like this isn't like some scrub synthesizer. This will be a purchase I make, just not in the near future because it's $900 for 61 keys, and unfortunately, it's a 61 key, so that's my only issue with it. And then my app of the week is going to be it's gonna be Chord Tracker by Yamaha, right? Let me see if I could do this. Exit full screen. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Let's throw this on here. All right. This is Yamaha Chord Tracker. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with my Mac, apparently. I didn't know that until just now. And you're just not seeing what I'm showing, but it's completely fine. Um, yeah, so basically what the app does, it takes your music and it lets you know what chords are being played and it helps you play along. So
Ooh.
those are my app and product of the week.
Okay.
Sort of like
Mine.
Moises, but it's not nearly as good as Moises,
Okay.
because you can't like upload your own music to it. But it's nice for like if you want to play along to whatever you have in like your Apple Music library.
That's really cool. I like that. My product of the week is a Flex Solar 40-watt solar panel that has USB ANC and DC output. Um, just the more and more you see things with like data centers and just power outages and stuff like that, or you're on a road trip or something, right? It's nice to have an alternative way to get power or charge your devices. What if your car dies in the middle of a road trip and you have no way to charge your phone? This is a way you can get up to 40 watts to charge like an iPad, even a Mac, and whatever else you want. And it's not that much money. It's like what, $65? Sorry, $53.98. That's 21% off. It's very small, and it's just kind of nice to have. This is great for camping or just various other things too. I think that everybody should be prepared and have this as a whole because it's just nice to have as a plan B, right? For power needs, straight for hiking, camping, backpacking, and so on, so on. And move out of the way. Sorry, my app of the week is Tiny Bookshop. This game that came out on Steam that we play. It's kind of like a little cozy, fun game. If you like books, you like this kind of concept. Is you kind of go in this little camper, like little shop thing. You go around and you buy and sell books, essentially, and you get a little story behind it. You can get the game for free to try it out for, I think it's like, the first 3 days. If you like it, it costs $8. It's pretty cheap. That's a fun little game if you like to just have like a little relaxing, cozy little fun game. That's my app of the week, and that's for iPad and for iPhone as well, currently. So yeah. All right, guys. Have a fantastic week. Thanks again for letting us took about almost 2 hours of your day this morning. And we'll be back next week.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully we're back in the studio, both of us, and we'll kind of go from there. And we'll see if there's a little surprise that we might be planning, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
All right. Well, thanks
Okay?
for showing up this week, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, comment toothpaste so we know you made it.
Peace.
And
Yes.
we might just not reply. We might hit you with a really cool reply. Maybe
Yeah.
a link to our Discord. You
Okay.
guys. It's a really private server, not everybody can get on there. So, just comment, we'll send you the invite link. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe. It's actually Thursday when we're recording this, so it just occurred to me that I have exactly maybe 15 hours to get this out. This is
Yeah.
it's gonna be something.
It's just we've had
Yeah, I
some
mean,
things happen this week, but we're fine. We're
yeah,
fine. We're
it didn't
good.
even occur to me how late in the week it was. Like I just saw that it's
Yeah.
Thursday. It'll
Yep.
be okay. You guys will see this on Friday. Don't worry.
Yes. Fantastic. Well, thanks
All right.
again. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, guys.